meeting?
Yes.
Jerry,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
and Lois. Okay.
Let's stand for a pledge of allegiance and a prayer.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Heavenly Father, as we come this evening, we just take a moment and just ask that you guide and direct us and help us make the best decisions for the town of Kirklin. We ask all these things in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
In your packets that Tara had sent us, we had meeting minutes, and then from our regular meeting that we held, and we had a special meeting on June 30th. Did you guys have any corrections or changes?
No.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of our regular meeting held on 6/8/25 and our special meeting held on 6/30/2025.
They were 26.
26.
Second.
Oh, it just.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. And we're gonna start our new business for tonight. And we have a resolution. We're going to do a resolution to reduce the 2026 budget for the park repairs and maintenance in the amount of $4,000, and we're gonna appropriate it in the year, the 2027 budget. So our resolution is 2026-7-1, resolution by the Kirklin Town Council. We, the Kirklin Town Council, resolve to reduce the 2026 budget for the following funds: park repairs and maintenance appropriation 2204.001.325.000 in the amount of $4,000 to be appropriated for the 2027 budget. So we have a resolution that's been presented.
I make a motion that we approve resolution 2026-7-1. Second.
So we have a motion and a second on this resolution. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. And then Carla has for us to sign, so we don't forget to sign it. We're gonna move on to old business now, and Billy, we have the park item first. Under old business.
There's nothing new at the park. We're waiting, delivery on the merry-go-round and the installation of the forward in place, ADA, surround for the merry-go-round. We do not have an installation date at this time.
Okay. I have heard lots of compliments on the new playground equipment. So. And we're gonna move on to the next item is stormwater.
The surveyor for Commonwealth will be here on July the 16th. He'll be going around town surveying the known storm structures throughout town. So if anybody sees him or asks questions, that's who that will be a surveyor with Commonwealth, starting on the stormwater stuff.
Okay. And now we're ready for you, Billy, on your utilities.
Alright, you have an update in front of you. I do not have anything to add to that. Peruse through it, ask questions. We finally got all the storm brush cleaned up, finally. Big help with, doing it wells. They came in and gave us a full 8 hours of work. And they together hauled about 14 of those dump trailer loads, packed. So, they put enough on their dump trailer that it would have taken about 3 or 4 of our dump trucks to actually put what they put on one load, so.
And I know like Chris Ragsdale did some help with Drew, and then Chris did it again on Saturday with Metzinger stuff, and so that was a big thank you to them too for helping.
Yeah, so
Is there a possibility we give Drew a bonus for his work, extra work that he did for storm cleanup?
We could also ask his boss, like that would come through Billy too. That would, if he'd want to make a recommendation on doing something like that. We get bonuses at Christmas time too, but I mean,
And maybe recognize the
yeah,
town people that helped him as well.
yeah.
I have a random question for you, I guess. You are in contact with NDOT from time to time. In Sheridan, the sign for Kirklin is misspelled.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can contact them about that. It's Kirkland out instead of Kirkland, and it's right where Gitgo and the Farmers Bank is. So
They're gonna be taking all that out soon anyway for the roundabout they're building there, so that'd be a good time for them to fix the sign.
well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I was gonna ask Billy too, like how the dump truck is. I know it was down and it was getting fixed. That was part of the delay on some of our pickup too.
Well,
Is it better or?
no, Billy Scott was supposed to have fixed it. So we used it one Monday, dropped it off at his shop that evening. He pulled it into the shop, and then the following Sunday, I checked with Adam to see if they had done anything, and they haven't even touched it. So it's set in his shop for about a week.
Okay,
So now I'm looking for somebody else to do the work.
okay. And I know, like on your last item for the park department, we had on there like the bridge and Duke Energy. I did talk to Bill Brock today and Brian Jones Electric, and I know Bill's gonna be starting some of the preliminary stuff for the under boring and stuff like that. They're gonna get preliminary stuff done so Duke can come in and finish the electrical stuff. So there's prep work that I guess Brian Jones has to do first, so. You guys have any other questions or anything for Billy or? Anybody? Okay.
Billy, have they ever done any probing over there where they won't build that building? Ever
every time I ask Bill Brock,
I have no idea. I mean,
you know what we got
I mean,
into?
there's no
Other side.
utilities in that area. They may run into an old basement foundation or
That's
some
what I'm
type
saying,
of
that-
concrete structure, but you know, once they start digging into it, I mean, they'll either jackhammer it or bring in a larger excavator to get it out.
I know the architects have been over there and have looked, like from Lafayette. I know they've been over and looked at the area.
Yeah, they've
So-
walked the area, but I don't know.
I don't know if they probed
anybody-
or not, I don't know
I
that.
don't know that anybody's
Yeah.
done any subsurface inspections or whatever, but I mean, the only thing they'll find is maybe an old foundation or some area that was filled in if the basement was in that area. And if so, you know, once it's inspected, once they get everything dug out, in order to rectify all of that, they'll have to fill it in with flowable fill. So, I mean, even if they run into something like that underground, there are ways that APC requires the ground to be stable so that they can still continue to build their building. It just may be a little extra cost to the bridge or whatever.
Well, you seen what we got into several years ago when they wanted to extend that track over there.
Yeah.
That footer was that big a square, and, somebody had their excavator over and couldn't even move it. Russell had to bring his. 'Cause
I ran into that when I put that water line in. Of course, there was another building set beside the original where the basketball, there was another building set there that I believe. It had the gym and a bunch of other stuff. But anyway, when I put that water line in, I ran through or dug through what was the staircase to the basement.
Yeah.
And we hauled 6 loads of nothing but brick.
Brick and junk.
And then we had to fill it back in and then, ran into a large, concrete structure. Mike Henry brought his big excavator out there and we barely got it on the truck. We barely got it hauled off, so it took the whole truck to haul it, but, yeah, I mean, there's no telling what they're gonna run into. But whatever they do, there are ways that can stabilize the ground and they can build whatever they need to do.
Yeah, that part where that building is, where the tennis court and such is, that's where the new building is, the
Mhm.
high school. And then west of that was the gymnasium. The big old brick building was to the south,
Mm-hmm.
and it had a basement in it.
Yeah, the big brick, the original big brick building, one of the sidewalks, well, I took one out 2-3 years ago that went to the original building and it was just right behind where the flower bed is
Mhm.
now. But yeah, I mean, anytime you dig, it's gonna be an adventure. I mean, I found that out when we put the, playground equipment in and stuff like that. I hauled 2 or 3 backhoe buckets of brick that we dug out. I mean, nothing major, but I mean, it was enough to have to keep clean.
Yeah, a lot of that back in the day was playground anyway, to the south and then all around.
Now, I do know that where the kiddie playground area is where the old septic tank for the school system was. And, yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, Bill Brock knows a lot about that if you want to ever ask any questions on it. He's got some funny stories. So. Are you, anything else?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to, Steve for the marshal.
I think Tara sent you a copy of the monthly report. We had 79 traffic stops. Out of those, we issued 14 traffic citations. We had 43 incident reports and 4 criminal arrests. I'm working on some Department of Homeland Security, or a Department of Homeland Security grant now, in hopes of receiving some grant funding for new two-way radio equipment to try and catch all a need we're gonna have here in a couple of years when the state upgrades their statewide radio system that we operate on. All but 2 of our current radios will be inoperable on that new upgrade. And so we're trying to edge that off so we don't have an expense in the future. And then I've been gathering information on the speed limit signs and getting information on the permitting process for that from the state highway. And the town of Rushville just recently put in 3 of those, and as well did the town of Dayton. So I've been communicating with their marshals and got some information from them on that. They've been a big help. I just wanted to thank our reserve officer, Brandon Garber. The night of the storm, he drove out here from Kokomo and stayed several hours and helped me. And again, he's a reserve and he doesn't get paid, and that was a big help. And then he spent about all day on Saturday assisting me with the festival. So he did a good job, and I appreciate all that he did. And Officer Tillman and Officer Light have done a really good job. We all work well together, and the transition has been smooth, and I appreciate everybody's support. I did go over and talk with the librarian the other day about the camera view of the power lock for the Narcan box, and I showed that to Billy the other day, and really the only place that's got a really good view is right around the fire hydrant, and we don't want people pulling up parking by the fire hydrant. You can see off in the distance or up by 421 and back around by the tower, but it's not as good as up around the fire hydrant. But after talking to Billy, we don't see, and correct me if I'm wrong, Billy, but I think the consensus is we really don't see a need that needs to be videoed anyway.
True.
That's something that they're gonna be, if they're going for that, it's gonna be an emergency, and I don't feel that they're gonna be tampering with it. At Rossville, we mounted the one that we have on the side of the utility garage, which is a block north of 26 on the east end of town. We've not had any issues with it. And
Would we just stick that on like a pole over there then,
Yeah.
or something?
yeah, just put like a treated post. It's not real big. It's just a little bitty box, and you can put a 4x4 post or something in the ground and mount it on that.
Okay.
It won't be our responsibility to maintain it or refill it.
Okay.
We just allowing someone to have a place to put it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my recommendation.
So maybe like on the opposite side of where the fire hydrant, maybe the opposite side, like behind it, like on the other side of it. Is that what you're thinking, or?
Well, it can't be anywhere within 30 feet of the fire hydrant.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Okay.
In fact, the fire department actually wants some type of drive barrier system there so that nobody can park within
Okay.
that distance, because they can't get to the fire hydrant most of the time when the
Right.
library is in operation, or events downtown, or when Booker's has a special evening or whatever.
So where would you guys recommend putting this post then? Like an exact
I
location?
don't know that Billy and I really come up with a place, but I don't see why we wouldn't want to just put it up on the west end out by 421. And that way, if somebody's needing it, they can pull right in there and get to it, and it's well out of the way of the fire hydrant.
Like at the edge of like where the gravel and the grass is, like kind of right there,
Yeah.
like that edge, right? Okay.
I think that'd be all right.
It might be a good idea to have a written agreement with the organization that's providing it, as to making it clear that it is
Not our responsibility.
their responsibility, and to maintain it and to keep it filled, and that we don't have any responsibility if it's damaged or
if it's empty and it's needed.
and somebody then.
Or if somebody has an adverse effect to it, they can't sue the town either.
That's right.
That's a bad batch, you just never know. Yeah.
And then I gave you, there was an electronic version of one quote, and then I was able to receive a second quote, and I didn't have time to get that to Sarah, so I printed off a copy for everybody.
the night of the storms, well, I noticed when I took over that some of the emergency lighting on the F-150 was acting hinky and not acting quite right. And then the night of the storm, I was driving the Explorer and Brandon was driving the Ford pickup truck. And he came up here to help me with some traffic at 421 and 38. And I asked him, I said, what's going on with those lights? And he says, they've malfunctioned for quite a while now. So I took it over to Lafayette, tip of the spear. They looked at it and the lights on that truck are holding moisture. And what's happening is when it gets a certain amount of moisture in those lights, it's causing them to short. And when they short, they change flash pattern, they change color, or they just don't even work. And so the recommendation, I spoke with 3 outfitters, all 3 agreed that the lights that were put on that new, the brand of those are Phoenix, and apparently they're notorious for holding water. They're out of warranty, and the only way to rectify the situation is to replace them with new lights. I mean, if water's intruded, there's nothing they do for it.
On your quote from Tip of the Spear and then move over Outfitters, are these the same quote? They have them worded differently in the Outfitters compared to this one. So are these like
They're
exact?
different. One company uses one brand, another company uses another.
Okay, that's why. Okay.
They're when you after you sift through it, there's $154.26 difference between the two.
Okay.
The one that's the lower of the two, my only concern with that is if you read through the quotes, and I highlighted on the second one that I gave you, they've left a lot of leeway for unknowns.
Okay.
And we may have to charge for this, we may have to charge for that. There's a couple items on there that they don't know what they're going to use at this point. I don't know how they quoted something that they don't know what they're going to use, but they did. The other estimate, and that estimate there, they didn't even have me bring the truck and look at it. They just wanted me to text them pictures and they gave me a quote off of pictures.
Okay.
I wouldn't cut over to that. The estimate, that's $154 more. He has even included making back plates if he needs to on his laser printer to make sure everything fits right. I just, for $154, I feel a lot more comfortable with the quote from Tip of the Spear. He took over an hour of his time. I drove it over there. He looked at it. I mean, he thoroughly inspected it.
Well, I also noticed on the Tip of the Spear, like his wheel and light heads have a 10-year warranty on them.
That was going to be my next point, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it would be my recommendation that if you do approve moving forward with fixing these lights, that we allow Tip of the Spear. Tip of the Spear did just outfit a new Tahoe for the Roscoe Police Department, and he did a very nice job. Everything works good. It's all professional, and the marshal over there is happy with it. So that would be my recommendation. But other than that, I don't have anything else unless you have questions.
I have a question. There's been a lot of dump trucks flying through here. Have you stopped any of those?
We had 79 traffic stops, and there's semis and dump trucks are
Okay.
popular.
Good.
We don't have insurance that covers nothing on that truck, or is that sort of like a specialty and there's nothing to cover that?
No, it's just normal wear, yeah. I mean, just added equipment on the truck.
I think that's probably like
Assessment.
your light burning out and your car's not covered. If hail breaks it, it is.
Right.
Right.
So Steve's presented us with a couple of quotes. Do you have any other questions for him on these, or does anyone want to entertain a motion if no other questions, or?
I like Tip the Spear, especially like you said, the warranty too.
Did you make a motion, Craig?
I have not yet.
Oh, okay.
I make a motion to accept Tip of the Spear's estimate, get the lights fixed on the police truck.
I'll second that.
The amount's, $2,699.66, yeah. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Did you wanna talk about the speed signs or no, or?
I can, there,
Not
I-
that, just
I
for us to
just
look
got a
at,
I just got a quote today,
okay,
for four of the speed signs, it's $7,000.
okay,
And I am, exploring a couple angles on trying to get some grant funding and other means of funding for those. The town of Rushville, he was able to get all three of his paid for at no expense to the town, so there's
Okay.
stuff out there, I've had a lot on my plate trying to get all the stuff switched over out of Brennan's name and into mine, and then we had the festival and we had the storm. And I'm not as far along as I wanted to be, but,
no, thanks for even
I'm working on it.
getting something, yeah, it's exciting to even see it, so, yeah.
What's really neat, the marshal at, Michigan Town is looking at him too, and he was explaining to me that he can pull up next to that in his car, and through Wi-Fi, he can download it, it keeps a traffic count, and it gives you, it'll break it down by time of day, the average speed of the vehicle coming through, so you can use that data to decide when you need to have targeted enforcement for excessive speed.
Oh, that's pretty
So,
cool.
it'd be
Yeah.
really neat. I'm excited about it.
Jerry and I could probably tell you times right off the top of our head.
I'll tell you what, I've been, of those 4 criminal arrests that we had, one was a reckless driving. I had been to Frankfurt to take care of some stuff one day, and I was just north of town and got one at 95 miles an hour. And it amazes me. And if they're running that well, and then I had another one, I was sitting in the parking, the gravel lot at the, substation, and was running radars. They were coming into town and had one at 87 coming into that 40.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's just, if they're running that fast at the edge of town, how fast are they running in town?
Wow.
So, we've been busy.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
And if you have anything else then, Steve, you're done?
No,
Okay.
that's it, thank you.
We're gonna move on to the clerk treasurer items. So Carla needs us to sign some of the, regular documents for Tara. All of these documents for signing has already in our packets from Tara, so we've already seen all these documents, so. We just have to sign them officially for her, so she has her signature on it. Did you get all your stuff signed?
Yes.
Everything signed, okay. The other thing that she had in our packet was, we had a, adjustment from Jason Moore. I didn't know if you guys had time to look at the adjustment on that. I think it looks pretty standard.
Did you just put the water portion because the sewer was already removed? Because we're
The summer
Regular.
sprinkling
yeah, so it's just 30/60.
for the water.
It's just that he had a leak under his house.
Oh, wow, okay. I was gonna say that, I was a little bit, it just shows you how our system, we have these water meters that can read them. Because the antique seller had a leak, and they saw it, it was unusual for her to have like a high amount.
Mm-hmm.
And so they sent her a message or put a thing on her door, and she got it shut off and got it fixed. And it wasn't enough to like have to turn in a leak adjustment, because you guys had notified her ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like she didn't wait till like a month and then, so that was nice that you guys caught it, sent a flag over there, and then that, you know, that saved money. Like she's not worried about it, so she's not gonna turn a leak adjustment in.
Yes.
So she caught it, we caught it in time, so
Yeah,
that's pretty
awesome.
cool. Our system can help catch it, you know, if they notice it in time, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
I make a motion, we approve the
Leak adjustment, okay.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. And under the council members, I was going to just bring up the Legion is having, I think it was like, I don't know if it was Tipton or, they're having a 75 bikes on Saturday the 25th. I don't know if, oh, it's Cicero. Cicero's doing the ride. It's for no vet left behind. But they wanted to know if they could block off Madison Street, like maybe possibly like the alley to the post office, just a little bit of it to help get the bikes in. Probably like maybe like 11:30 to 2. They're only there about an hour. So they were kind of just wanting to know if it would be okay for them to shut it down just a short time to get the bikes to have.
Good.
I've already talked to the antique seller because she just asked how long it was going to be. Is it going to be all day? And I said, no, I don't think so. So I did get verification, like probably like 11:30 to 2 or something. So I can let them know that we don't have a problem with it, or, okay.
What day is that?
The 25th
Of
July.
July?
Yeah. Is that kind of like a poker run kind of thing where they stop in and they're only there to do lunch or a snack or something, then they get back on the bikes and then head off again? Or
They ride from bar to bar.
bar, okay. Okay.
I've been on some of those rides.
Okay.
You didn't hear that, Steve.
That was a long time
Maybe
ago, right, Dan?
breathalyzer
That was a
out
long
of
time
your-
ago.
If they need cones or barricades, have them contact me.
Okay. And then on the barricades, do you have a couple of the bridge barricades? Or did we get them back? There's a couple, I don't know if I got all of them back yet.
No, I put them,
You got them back?
yeah. I put
One of them
back.
was broke.
Yeah, one of the legs was broke. I've got it at the shop
To fix, okay.
rebuild, but yeah, I dropped them off.
Okay,
I had
thank
to
you.
build it.
And then the other thing I was gonna add in here, Dan Carlisle gave each of us a letter. And I don't know if you guys wanna just, let's take the time to like read this letter from him and, you know, look at it, and we can bring this up at our next meeting. So that'll give us time to, since we didn't have it before the meeting, but I wanted to at least bring that up, that he did give us a letter. And it's on the stormwater issues. So it's the stormwater flooding and fee increase. So that's what the letter's about, so. Does any other council members have anything before I close the meeting? Or?
The only thing I've got, I think I've talked to Billy about it, is that where they're redoing the church down here for the wedding venue thing. I met with that guy and went in the basement, and his sump pump pit is on the west end of his building, close to 38, and turned the pump on and held it on, and there's a 6-inch tile that goes towards the alley.
I mean, we talked about that in our special meeting.
Well,
On the
it just
30th.
kept coming and
Yeah.
coming. And the way I understand it, there's no maps of the drain there, so if that's plugged there, I mean, it never shut off, just kept running.
Yeah, that Billy note. Yeah, we know about that.
Well, need to locate the ditch out there and see why, if it's plugged ahead of it, that could be a lot of his problems.
Yeah.
I mean,
And we also
we gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, we also discussed that in our when we've had meetings with the stormwater, like with the engineers and stuff, we brought those same issues up to them, so they know about it too. So, we've told them things that we are curious about.
So many people knows about it, but nobody's doing nothing. That's what bothers me. Get cameras down there and run down the alley and find out where it's plugged. It's a simple thing to do. And one at a time, it's gonna help, just like the stuff we done some years ago south here. Every little bit you do helps, but if it's not getting away, I mean, I stood there and watched it. It continued, just kept running and running until it got to a certain height. It can't go on north.
Isn't that what Commonwealth's gonna do? And then we
Yes.
just talked about?
Yes, they're gonna like do as-built drawings for us, so we know like where all the issues are at.
Right, they're gonna
So
I
that's
think
why they're
have a camera
investigating.
and stuff, yeah.
There's so many issues, that's why they're gonna help us locate them, so.
If we could do it on our own without a bunch of grants and stuff, we could jet something out and get it open and going. Just plug down there on the north end of town. Francis Street in Ohio. You run a camera up this way and it comes that utility pole there and stops. It needs dug up and see what's wrong.
I've heard about that one too, yeah.
But we keep talking about it and nothing's ever done. And the water stands there in Sturt's backyard in that pit. Jet it on and see why. Well, somebody said something about the roots in there, jet them out of there. Every little bit we do is gonna help some.
Where's that telephone, where at it, what telephone pole?
Where that guy bought Ragsdale's old trailer down there. And that old double wide trailer across there, the utility pole on Ohio Street. This has been years ago. They run a camera and it come to that utility pole and stop, run it this way. And it comes from the Christian church and goes clear to about there and stops. I mean, you gotta do something. We can't just keep waiting on grants and big money to engineer something when we see little simple things do ourselves. What do you think?
I mean, I just know that our employees have a lot on their plate.
They do. And here lately, it's been really bad.
It's been really bad, that's,
What does Jay charge when he comes out from EcoStructure? Like to run a camera or jet something? It's not that expensive, is it?
It's usually if they're here an hour, it usually runs anywhere between $800 to $1,000, maybe less, depending on what they have to do. There's a minimum charge, and then they charge mileage. Well, actually, they charge when they crank the truck up at the lot. That's when they start their time, and then when they park it in the lot, when they end their time. So it usually runs between $800 and $1,000 every time they come to town.
But if we've got things set up and ready, it wouldn't take them out that long to do their job.
No, and I've used vac truck companies in the past. In fact, I've jotted down some kind of rough drawings of storm drains and stuff in the area. Basically, there are no maps. You can ask Joe Blow if he knows something, but you can take that with a grain of salt, because most of the people in town that know something are,
They're gone.
yeah. Especially, I mean, Burlthorpe was a big help out here in that end of town. But I've done some rough sketches, and basically what I have done, and we don't have a whole lot of storm money to work with. So if I do that 2, 3, 4 times, I'm broke. We're done. Usually what we did was we would pick a storm drain, pop the lid, and whatever lines come in or out, we would just pick one and go as far as we could. get a distance, size, what type it was, we come back out, we go back in another one. I know there's one over here, Ohio, and, oh goodness gracious, it's either,
Adam Street.
no, it's not, it's not that far down, it's Monroe. Pull the lid on that one, and there's a half a dozen lines coming in and out, going every direction.
That was one of the things Burl Tharp always talked about. Nobody go along with him. There where Worthing's Park out in front of their house. He said he took, come to a board meeting and took people down there and showed them, and nobody wanted to do nothing about it, and they filled it in. They'd had it dug up. This has
Now,
been
I
30
knew-
years ago.
I do know they're on Monroe. There's a storm drain on the corner of Monroe and 421, which goes east all the way to that particular manhole somewhere in the area of Ohio. And we've had trouble with it. Some of the issues that are causing issues now is because of lack of oversight. When people would put in sewer lines, water lines, they would just go right through storm drains, and depending on what it is, you can't reroute sewer lines based on the need for elevation. And if you do storm drains up or down, it's not gonna fix that either. So there's a lot of rerouting of some stuff that needs to be done around town. Some of these things may be small, but added together, they all,
It's big.
it's in an area. An area may have half a dozen or more issues that need to be fixed. And another big issue that this town has is when they first put all this stuff in, they didn't bank on growth. So a lot of the storm drains are too small and cannot handle some of the larger rains that we've gotten over the past several years.
Now there at George's, when his basement starts getting wet, if they jet that going east,
Yeah,
that's terrible. What is it they get out there? Is it tree roots or what is it?
No, it's sediment.
Sediment.
And that one is one where there is a water line that goes right through it. When sediment gets up so far, then, the size of the water line, even decreases the flow even more. Prime example of a storm drain that was put in too small. One there at my house that was connecting West Monroe to 38. It is way too small for what the big heavy rains that come. In fact, the last 2-3 heavy rains, water was halfway up to my house. And, Lois Sheets across the road, it was almost up to her garage. But, when the rain stopped, 2-3 hours later, it was gone. But it's just size too small to carry what.
And it don't have much fall from this street.
No, it doesn't. No, it
They
doesn't.
couldn't for the elevation on this end.
I know the other thing that we're worried about too is we want to get some stormwater issues fixed, but we're also worried about, we may have to look at Excel's project. Cause I feel like that he's been up here.
That's a priority that needs to be done.
That's where we may have to spend some more money. That's why we're worried about our stormwater account, because if we do that project, it's gonna put us even shorter. So that's the other reason why we've been talking about an increase and the need of it, because we don't have the money to go do cameras and.
Yeah.
So that's why we're trying to get some of the grant stuff to help us in the long run.
Yeah.
So.
And there's 2 or 3 projects in town that need to be done. They're on Elizaville Road. From Elizaville Road back up to the cemetery, there needs to be a swell that goes along all the way behind those people's homes, so that they drain their backyards, drain it down to Elizaville Road, and possibly put a 2-foot culvert underneath Elizaville Road and let it drain over into the cornfield.
Okay.
There needs to be an open ditch cut from, I can't figure out the lady's name that lives there in that trailer. They're on Elizaville, but it needs to be an open ditch.
Is that Jan Kyle or
Yeah,
Jan?
it needs to be an open ditch with some new culverts put in, underneath driveways and the roadway from there to 38.
Okay.
And then over around Dan Carlisle. All of that needs to be open ditch. Drains need to be a lot larger. In fact, the one,
Now, is his in the front or his in the
a big
back?
issue is in the front, but I do know there's some issues behind.
Okay.
But one of the big issues in the front is over time the ditches have filled in. They need to be re-elevated, reshot from grade from that in-house all the way down to Adams Street. New culverts put in 12 inches or bigger. I do know that there is a flexible tile drain, but it's only about 4 inches. So it's not gonna
Okay.
carry a whole lot, and if it's plugged up, it's not gonna carry anything. So there's issues that can be done. Problem is, our stormwater budget doesn't have a whole lot. If we do 2 or 3 projects ourselves, then we're done.
But we open that up and then we just shove more water down in the sunshine.
Well,
Apartments.
we're
And we got a
hoping-
swimming pool
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we're hope, but it gets it out of your door.
I'm not that person. I'm not pushing it on down.
Well, I mean, we're hopefully, we gotta do something.
I know.
Because, we fix up all of our stuff and then the county refuses to. We've done us, but,
Right.
and we fixed us, but that doesn't fix the total issue. So that's why we're working in conjunction with the county so that we can get this comprehensive study done to find out where the shortfalls are, where the problems are. And then once we do all of that, find out where everything is flowing to, what quadrant of town it's flowing out of. Then we can put a comprehensive plan together that says, okay, X amount of gallons of water, we need 12-inch tile here. X amount, we need 18, 24, 36, it depends. And just like anything, the clay tile structure is failing. It's a system that's been put in for decades and it's been band-aided for decades. Nothing permanent to take the worry off and not having to do anything for the future has ever been done.
What would you replace that with, double wall?
It depends on where it's at. Depends on the location. Dual wall plastic pipe. It can pretty much be used anywhere and everywhere. Galvanized will eventually rust out, but everybody in this room will be long gone by the time that happens. Dual wall would
Maybe
be
not her.
Oh yeah, even her. My grandson will be retired before that happens. But anyway, dual wall would be what I would recommend. It is flexible enough that it can give a little, but not a lot. It's easy to install, easy to handle, and it holds up no matter what quality of
Stays in
soil,
place,
stone,
too.
rock, sand, or whatever you put around it. And, depending on how you bed it, how you cover it, take a 1/4-inch drill several holes, and it will actually, not only drain from areas, but it'll also act as a French drain as well. So, there's things that can be done, just depends on the situation, depends on where you're at.
Yeah, where it's running through.
Yeah.
My situation is I could alleviate my problem. But the problem of it is there's utilities right next to that ditch that he's talking about. There's power there, there's water there, there's everything.
Well, it doesn't have to go deep.
Right.
It just needs to be deeper than what it is.
Right.
The water lines in your area, 4 to 5 feet deep. Sewer lines are behind the house, whatever. So, you know,
And utilities should be 3 feet deep, but who knows?
minimum anyway.
Yeah, you know, you like your, any communications or anything.
Yeah, of course, you've got AT&T, you've got Fiberhawk, you've got the new Comcast and all that kind of stuff, and depending on who put it in, whatever, I mean, it could be anywhere between 6 inches and 3 feet, so.
Right.
Okay, is there anything else from the council, or I'm gonna adjourn the meeting then? Jay, do you have anything or
Nope.
nothing? Okay, meeting adjourned.
Quick question.